Okay, so today's all about recovery, movement restoration. So whatever you've done throughout your week, today is a little bit of a reset for your body. So I've got these are yoga tune-up balls. These are great. If you're interested, you can send me a DM and I'll send you a link to buy them. They're awesome, sort of self-massage balls. They're great. If you don't have these, 1 or 2 tennis balls, and this is a coregeous ball made by Tune Up Fitness. It's awesome. Hi, Sar. Hi, Rowan. Hi, Sam. So it's a squishy air-filled ball that you can use to massage any part of your body, really, to get some nice shear, nice movement underneath your, hey Heidi, underneath your skin, your superficial fascia, and it's really your fascia that dictates your flexibility. If you're rigid in your fascia, it's not gliding and sliding really well, then you're gonna be tight and you're not gonna feel great in your body. But if you don't have one of these, again, if you're interested, they're awesome. Contact me and I can send you a link to purchase. Just grab like a small decorative pillow that you would have like on your sofa or on your bed. That will yield a little bit is great. And if you don't, then a small towel. I grabbed a beach towel or a pool towel because I was pressed for time and that was what it was around. So anything, a towel or a pillow will sub really well for this guy. Okay, so we'll get started. So it'll be kind of self-massage, sort of a total body tour, and a little bit of down regulation and breathing to sort of send you off in a nice state of calm for the rest of your day. So we'll get started. So have all that stuff nearby. So we'll start, if you've got the yoga tune-up balls, you want to have them in the tote. And if not, you can just use a tennis ball by itself. So I'm actually going to move up a little bit. I feel like I'm far away from you guys. Sorry for the rear view. So I'll take these out. So what's great about the yoga tune-up balls is they're really grippy, and so you already get a little bit of stickiness. It's going to stick to that superficial layer of your skin and then really sort of cause a little bit of that glide and that shear underneath. But otherwise, don't want it to run away from you. So start with just underneath your foot. You can lean on something for a little bit of support. And you're just rolling kind of from the ball of your foot to your heel. Not staying to one side, you're just trying to cover as much surface area as possible. And switch feet. So this is something, especially if you wear high heels, you should do every single day. So high heels not only wreak havoc on the sort of intrinsic muscles of your feet, but up the chain as well, your calves, your shins, your back as well, because they vault you forward. So treating your feet to a little bit of a spa break is a good way to go. Okay, next I'm going to switch to the yoga tune-up ball because it is a little bit better for this one, but the tennis ball is fine. So you're going to kind of nuzzle it in between your heels, and then you're just going to step the right heel on and then the left. So you're getting a little bit of that shear, and then that's the stickiness of the rubber, and the ball will kind of pull as your weight and as gravity descends down, and you get a lot of your body just feels a lot better. Relief was the word I was looking for, or relief, as my teacher Jill Miller, who is the person who came up with this system. So you can go slow. It's almost like a little cat paw. That's what she calls it too. And especially in your arches, it feels so good. And there's so much that you can do for your feet. So if this is something that you need, you can go back and you can spend more time here, or I'm going to post this to YouTube after, Amy Walsh Movement. And more people joining. Hi guys. and you can pause it and you can just spend more time here. You can also just go to the heel. You can go to the toes and work on your big toe. Extension, which is something that everybody needs for power, for gait, for walking, and also for running. It's so important. So next we're going to go to the shins. So if you've got the yoga tune-up balls, as I was saying, in the tote works the best here. But if you just have a tennis ball, I'll demo first with a tennis ball, it's okay as well. So what we're addressing here is the tibialis anterior. So kind of feel your tibia, your shin bone, and it's just almost at the center of your shin. And that gets really uber tight. So we're just going to take the tennis ball and we're just going to roll up and down. And what you can do here, if you have a block or a book, if you raise your leg up, then what that can offer you at this point is it can give your foot a little bit of movement or a little bit of room to move. So if you find a spot that's particularly tender, but not too tender that you need to avoid it, you can stay there and you can breathe. You can stay in that spot and then you can pin and mobilize. So I'm pressing down a little bit more and then I'm moving my foot back and forth. Whoops. Paused. Reconnecting, hopefully. Let me know, guys. It just said pause for poor connection. It's really windy where I am. So just give me a wave if everything's good now. Sorry about that. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Can you guys, hopefully this is still working. Okay, we'll keep going here. So switch legs, we're on the shin. So again, you can elevate up if you've got that available to you, but if you don't, you can stay on the ground and just roll. So I'm on my left leg, so I'm just to the left of my shin bone, and I'm just addressing the front of my shin here. And then I can get to a little bit of a sticky spot, and then I can start to move plantar flex, dorsiflex my foot, or move that foot in a little bit of a circle. Make sure that everything's good. Everything okay, Hides? Oh, good. Okay, great. So sorry about that pause. Hope it doesn't happen again. Okay, next we're going to go to quads. So you can also do calves. Calves need a lot of love. We're going to skip them today. So grab your tennis ball and then set up on your belly. And we'll start with kind of reading the medius part of your quad. Roll to the side and then come back on so you get a little bit of pressure. And then just sit with the compression. So you can rest your forehead down on your hands. You can stay up on your forearms. That actually induces a little bit more pressure. And if you've got two tennis balls, that will actually disperse the pressure a little bit. So it won't be as intense. So you decide, but you work with whatever tools you have. And then from here, you can just let your body, let your pelvis move from side to side. So we're going cross fiber. We're going across the fiber of those quadriceps. They run from your hip to your knee to your hip that way. And then change spots. So either go down towards your knee or up towards your pelvis. Go back to one. So if you can tolerate one, it's probably a little bit easier to work with. And then again, just letting your pelvis rock from side to side. And then you can change spots or stick where you are, and then again, add a little bit of movement. So the ball's pinned on that tissue, and then I flex and extend my knee, and that's sort of teasing and pulling those muscle fibers away from where you have tightness or an adhesion. So that's a nice technique, but if that's too much, you can just sit and breathe, or lie and breathe. Breathing through your nose, try to breathe in a 360-degree way all around your spine. So if you ever feel like you're clenching your jaw or you can't breathe properly, then adjust. Go uptown, downtown from where you are if it's really sensitive. And just breathe. So we're going to switch sides. So again, start right in the middle of your quad. And just sit with the compression at first. So let the ball sink in. Imagine your tissues just relaxing and draping around the pressure of the ball. Found a good spot. So relax your jaw, connect with your breath. So this type of work allows you to connect with your body, become more aware of your body, and embody your body. So it lets you become aware also of blind spots, like areas that maybe don't move as well, areas through misuse or abuse, underuse, that the body kind of turns a blind eye to. Or Jill Miller, as I said before, the founder of this work, calls them your body blind spots. So change, just move the ball up or down, and again you can just relax, try to do your best to soften the tissue around the pressure of the ball. Add a second ball if it's a little bit too intense, or shift it slightly, and then you can let your pelvis move left to right, so we're cross-fibering. And then you can add that movement here where we're pushing down the ball still, but then we add the movement down the chain. So as I flex my knee and extend my knee, which is what your quadriceps do, we get a little bit more movement in the muscle fibers, a little bit more action happening. Okay, next, the glutes, everybody's favorite. So start with one ball. You can prop under your head if you need. So I'm going to go under my left glute. So lift up and then go right kind of in the center of your butt cheek. And then let your body come down. And straighten your legs. And then what we're going to do is try to so the ball's underneath my left glute, try to make your right glute just nice and quiet. We don't want that to jump online or to participate at all. Now squeeze your left glute, and you'll notice your pelvis will shift to the right, and you'll move up away from the floor, and then as quickly as you contracted or as actively as you contracted, then relax. So you guys saw that shift of my pelvis, so let's do that 2 more times. So contract your glute, and then relax. And notice what else needs to jump on board in order to facilitate that contraction. Can you just concentrate the movement? So I'm squeezing. Don't press your heel down. Don't activate your hamstrings. Don't clench your jaw. Don't move your upper body, and then relax. Next, move the ball up kind of right to the top of your pelvis, which is where your glute max goes all the way up to. Start on the outside, and then bend your knees now. Actually, bend your right leg, but straighten your left. And then we're going to use the bent leg on the right to sort of push and tilt my body to let the ball move from my outer hip. You see the ball poking through there? And then you can bend this leg too if you need, if that feels better. And then towards my sacrum or my spine, so towards the midline of your body without crossing over your vertebra. And then you can readjust the ball as needed if you find yourself scooting off your mat like I am. And then I'm rolling from the inside to the outside. And then I'm traveling from the top. I started at the top of my pelvis, and I've worked my way down closer to sort of the where your butt cheek meets your thigh, or meets your hand, the back of your thigh, your hamstring. Good. Take the ball out, straighten both legs, and just notice how you feel from left, the side that we rolled, to right. And then switch sides. So start with it just right in the medius part of your glute. Straighten both legs. And then you're obviously elevated a little bit more on the right-hand side. And that's okay, but relax as much as you can onto it. You notice I say meaty a lot as I'm referring to muscles, but I'm the vegan, so it's a little bit of irony for you there on this Friday. So squeeze. So again, keeping everything nice and quiet. Try to concentrate, just focus, dial in on the activation of the right glute only. So squeeze that right glute. Your pelvis will tip over to the left, and then relax. And then squeeze, and relax. And notice what else has to jump online to help you to contract your glute. Can you really just say, okay, everything else, quiet now. I just need my right glute to fire. Let's do that one more time. Squeeze and relax. And now you find the best setup for yourself. So I'm going to move the ball. I'll turn around so that you can see this graceful spin move here, so that you can see what I'm doing on the right side. So I'm up towards, if you feel that hip bone here, that iliac crest, I'm just in behind it. And then I can use my hands as well. And I'm just going to sort of rock my body. I'm using my left foot a lot here to help me do that. And then I spin open so I get that lateral hip. And then I move back towards the middle. You can always readjust your ball as needed. Ooh, that outer hip for me is a little bit tender. So I could spend more time there if I wanted, or I could avoid it altogether, and that's okay. You really decide. You don't want to aggravate. You don't want to tense up, clench your jaw, move away from your breath and what this practice is supposed to do, which is down-regulate. Speak to your body, speak to your nervous system, and calm everything down so that you can recover properly. So the ball now is moving. I'm down towards my sitting bones, or the bottom of my pelvis. And again, I'm not rolling over my tailbone, but I'm at the bottom of my glute. Take it out, straighten both legs, and then just check in with your body, how it feels on the ground, how it feels left to right, right to left. And then contract just your left glute, squeeze it, and relax. Squeeze just your right glute, squeeze it, and relax. And now try to go really fast. Left glute, right glute. Left glute, right glute. Good. So hopefully with a little bit of a massage, we're talking to those tissues and we're able to communicate more clearly from tissue to brain and from brain to tissues. Okay, from here, we're going to go to our upper traps. So 2 balls, hopefully you have. If you just have one, that's okay. But we're going to be kind of where, see the straps of my tank top are? They're right there. So those muscles that you use to shrug your shoulders up, we're going to be just right here. So we're not up on the neck, we're just below, kind of right where your tank top straps would come down. So I'm going to use the tennis balls. You can use the tune-up balls if you need, so they're out of the tote if you have the yoga tune-up balls. Legs are bent, feet on the floor. And then you can have your towel or your coregeous ball nearby. So I'm going to lift my head, lift my shoulders, move your hair out of the way, and then just get those balls pinned there with your upper back. Okay, so from here, just notice that tension and then add an arm raise. And then back down. So we'll do that a few times. So the upper traps tend to get really cranky. You got any neck stuff happening, any tension from sitting at desks, you're working from home, driving, It's just an area, again, just like your feet, that this type of work can be done almost every day. Arms are up, and now, like seaweed arms, so moving with the current, just try to relax them as much as you can. Obviously, they need to be engaged to be up above your head here, and just let them move from side to side. And all this work that I'm doing can be done in a modified bridge, and you can come up to full bridge, so then you're using your legs a little bit more, or you can prop underneath your pelvis, and now I'm getting a little bit more pressure into those traps, okay? But you can just have your body on the ground. You can really decide for yourself what your body feels like today, and it'll change on a day-to-day basis. The self-massage with these balls is really a great check-in for your body. And we've lost the connection again. Hopefully this is good. Reconnecting. Okay, I'll just keep going and hopefully it comes back on. Okay, next, so that was upper traps. Next, the balls are going to come together. So they could be these, or they could be the tune-up balls out of their toe. Sorry about the connection again, guys. Really apologize. Or they can be in the toe like this. And we're going to go up and down the spine. So the balls are going to be on either side of your spine. And we'll start as high as you can manage. So put your balls down on the ground and then place your body over them. And then cradle your head with your hands. And then you're going to lift your pelvis up a bit. And again, as I showed before, you can prop with a towel or your coregeous ball underneath. And then you're just going to push and pull. I don't know if you guys can see properly what I'm doing. So I'm digging my feet into the floor and I'm using my legs to move the balls up towards my neck and down towards my pelvis as I push with my legs straighten, and breathing throughout all around my spine. And what you might hear as you do this is a little bit of reset with your ribs, especially in the thoracic spine, so we can get so tight in there. And this movement here will allow if there are any ribs that are just twisted or out of place, as you get a nice free chiropractic adjustment. But nothing violent, and it's all governed by you and what feels best for your body. So next, from here, we're going to go either with a towel rolled up. So I'm going to be on my right hand side, and you're going to place the towel just underneath your ribs. And you can have a block or a pillow under your head here, or you can just rest your head on the ground. So I'll use the towel. So I'm just underneath my armpit. I'm not in my waist. And then your opposite hand's going to come on top of your rib cage. Try to stack your pelvis here, so bend your knees and try to have your hips in line with your shoulder, in line with your skull. So I'm up and I'm bringing my opposite hand directly opposite where I have the pressure of either the towel or the coregeous ball. And then we'll just do 3 breaths, where as I inhale, I'm filling space, I'm getting bigger all around my spine. And then as I exhale, I'm going to use my top hand to help get rid of all the air in my lungs. And if I had like an elastic waistband, I would be getting smaller here. So really exhale, drive the front of those ribs down to meet the top of your pelvis, and 2 more like that. Inhale, getting bigger, and exhale, getting smaller. 1 more like that. So breathing in and out through your nose, and exhale. Great. So in order to have a full breath, an easeful breath, our ribs need to mobilize. So they need to, like that bucket handle, they need to lift up as I inhale and come down as I exhale. And this work will help speak to this area that sometimes doesn't move all that well. So then I flip over to the other side. So I've got the pressure on the left-hand side of my ribs. Top hand comes here. So here I'm showing you without the like a prop underneath my ear, which is perfectly fine. Stack your pelvis and then inhale. So feel the back of your ribs, feel the low back get full, and then exhale. Push all that air out. Try to get as small as you can. Load a couple more candles. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Great. So the last thing we'll do, I'll show you with the coregeous ball here, but you can easily use a towel or your little pillow. We're going to go right in between the shoulder blades. So again, an area that gets super tight with all of us, doesn't allow us to rotate or breathe all that well, and it can be a big blind spot. So I'm going to go down just a little bit. So I'm actually more versus the tips of my scapula, not sort of right up in between, more where your bra or your bro strap would be. If this is cranky for your neck, you can always prop with a pillow underneath the back of your head. From here, externally rotate your arms, and you can open them kind of to either side of you, like a T shape, or you can be in an inverted V. I like to have the knees bent here and the feet flat on the floor, so that the low back doesn't start to talk to you in a not so great way. But this is a great way. So you breathe here, you go in your own rhythm, and I'll just talk you through it a little bit. You want to try to relax the shoulders down and feel the front, feel your pecs, your chest, your sternum lift and open as your shoulder blades press into that upper back. So a couple breaths here. Really allowing that mid-back to soften against the pressure of the ball or the towel. Great. Roll off to the side. And then there's so much, again, that you can do with the coregeous ball or with your towel and the spine. And the part of your body that really is related to a good breath, that's on your back body, which is a big part of facilitating good breathing practices. Okay, so to end, it's about a half an hour, 35-minute practice today. If you have wall space, that would be the best. If you don't, that's okay. You can set up with a couch or a chair, and you can lie your lower legs on the chair and then your body down on the ground, so supine or on your back. And then bring your props along with you, so your towel or your coregeous ball and your tennis balls. So I'm going to set up, I'm going to have my back to you, and hopefully you can hear me properly here. So you're going to cannonball entry in, so pull your knees to your chest, and then roll to the side, and then depending on how flexible your hamstrings are here, you might want to move away from the wall a little bit. So legs are going to be up against the wall, or if you've got a chair, so you've got 90-degree angles with your or perpendicular thighs, and then your calves and your feet will be resting on your chair. So you guys find a setup that works for you. And then this is just such a great recovery position. So it lets gravity take care of any lactic acid, any tightness, anything. It comes back recycled into your lymphatic system. So this right away is just a great position to be in. You can further accelerate that parasympathetic response by pressing into the wall, lifting up your pelvis, and you're not in your low back here, but we lift up the back of the pelvis, we prop underneath. And so then now we have the benefit of the legs up the wall, But now with the pelvis up, we're in an inversion. So that accelerates our body's ability to tap into the parasympathetic nervous system. So we'll just go here, open up your arms, again like we were before with the prop underneath our upper backs. You want to leave space for your body to breathe. And you want to allow the shoulders to relax. From here, we'll just mobilize a little bit by pulling the toes in towards the shins, and then dorsiflexing, and then plantar flexing, so pointing the toes. And this is a good way to kind of pump, any swelling, any crap really out of your legs. So I just like to do this a couple of times. And then really start to notice your breath. So we'll do a few more of these. And then from this position, I'll just show you before we go into our breathing practice. This is a great position. You could knee slightly bent. You can just pull this leg in to get a hamstring stretch. You could bend the leg at the wall, foot against the wall, and get into a good glute stretch with that number 4 stretch. You can get into the adductors with the legs wide, or kind of the cobbler's pose at the wall too. So there's a myriad of things that you can do at the wall here as a bonus to really get into some recovery. But we're just going to move into some breathing. So from here, pelvis elevated, if it feels good for you. If you've done that and it doesn't feel great, you can always remove that prop. And you'll get the benefit just of the legs up the wall. So you guys stay there, and I'll turn so that you can better hear me. And we'll end with some breath work that will really facilitate down regulation. So that means we flip the switch on our nervous system to get into restoration, recovery, a state of calm. And a really good way to sort of repair not only the physical state, but the mental state. So if you've had a tough week, or if you've trained really hard, this is something that you really need to prioritize, and the breath work is what allows you to get into that state. So what we'll do is we'll find this, it's called an OK mudra. So you're making the OK sign. So the thumbs and the forefingers come together, so you're on your back, so the backs of the arms are relaxed on the ground. So just bring the thumbs and the index fingers together really softly, almost imperceptibly. And at this point, not everybody can feel it, but you might be able to connect with your heartbeat. So you'll feel, just as you softly press the 2 fingers together, you might be able to feel your heartbeat. If you can't, no big deal. You can move your hand to your chest and connect with your heartbeat that way. But what your heartbeat is going to be your inner metronome. So rather than working from my count, which will bias your breath work, you work from your own physiology. So your own breath, your own pace, and your own heartbeat as your metronome. So what we'll do in order to, we've elevated the pelvis, so we're in an inversion. The legs are up the wall, we're connecting with our breath. We're speaking to our physiology, all ways here that we can accelerate this process of restoration and recovery. The final one is to extend the length of your exhale. So we'll work with a 4 and a 6 count. So we're going to inhale for 4. We're going to hold at the top of the inhale for 4. We're going to exhale for 6 and hold for 4. So we'll repeat. Inhale for 4, hold for 4. Exhale for 6, hold for 4. Okay? And the count isn't seconds, it's your heartbeat. So you'll pay attention to your body, you'll embody your body through this breathing practice. So let's go for 5 rounds. So close your eyes if they're not closed already, or soften your gaze, relax your jaw, feel the way your body is supported on the ground. Slowly start your inhale, and be sure that you're not bringing tension here when we're meant to be doing the opposite. If the breath hold starts to do that for you, then please just abandon it and just focus on extending the length of your exhale. So you should be exhaling. Try to pause at least at the bottom of your exhale, and then begin your inhale again. Again, letting your body be your guide. And you can even use a mindset or set and sankalpa, as they say in yoga, which is really just you're changing your perspective. And you can let yourself know that I allow myself to relax completely. You give yourself permission to do the practice, to give yourself time to really make the switch over to the parasympathetic nervous system. So notice your body, notice your heartbeat. And if the practice of counting the heartbeats and following your breath brings up anxiety for you, just get rid of it and simply focus on extending the exhale. So let's do one more breath cycle. Shorter inhale, really maximizing the expansion in your torso, at the front, at the sides, at the back. A slight breath hold if that feels comfortable. And then a really long extended exhale. You're okay. You can always get breath if you need. You have access to air. You are safe. So let go of that count. Just feel the way your body's supported. Notice a change, notice a shift. And then to come out of the posture where we were, if you had wall space or if you're on a chair, just bring the knees to your chest. Take a minute here. You can rock from side to side. And if you have the time, stay longer. If you can stay here, if you can devote more time to this practice, please do. If you're ready to come out, roll to the side. Press with your arms, come up slowly, head comes up last. So I'm getting up, but you don't have to. Stay where you are. And I apologize. You're welcome, Heidi. I apologize for the connection. Again, it's super windy where I am, so I think that was what the problem was. But if you're interested in these products, the practice isn't about a pitch, but these are awesome products. They're Yoga Tune-Up. You can find them at Tune-Up Fitness, or you can contact me and I'll send you a link to purchase. So enjoy the rest of your Friday. I hope you enjoyed today's recovery practice, and I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend.